So, Wayne, I assume your own shows, not interrupted, you continue to go on, you continue to entertain people who rely on that every time they come to Vegas.
So I am convinced that tonight we will get back to doing what it is we do, and that is try and bring some happiness into people's life.
And indeed he did. The show did go on. Wayne Newton, considered one of the most successful entertainers in Las Vegas history, certainly one of the highest paid, continuing to do just what he does best because he thinks it's needed. And a lot of entertainers there, casinos, hoping to do just the same to get Las Vegas back and remind folks it is back and its people are back and it will overcome this. Former Nevada GOP chair Amy Tarkanian. We've got Congress of Racial Equality spokesperson Niger Innis as well. Niger, what do you think of that attitude? Not only the show must go on, but in Wayne Newton's eyes, we have an obligation as entertainers to bring it on.
Absolutely. There's no question about it. You know, I had a talk with my nephew last night who was just really upset by what occurred. And you know what he did? He actually started, he got on the computer and just started writing. He started typing and he started engaging back into regular, normal life and to have a little diversion from the horrific massacre that took place. You know, I think we are going to bounce back. We bounced back from the financial crisis in 2007 and 2008. And this state, which is battle-born, is going to go back. And I applaud Wayne Newton. And I say, absolutely, the show must go on. And we had a terrible tragedy. We must recognize that tragedy. We must mourn for the innocents that died, that were viciously murdered. But yes, the show will and must go on.
You know, I mean, what a lot of people say is that it will go on, but getting to the show, staying at the casinos, that might be different. More security checks, maybe more magnetometers. That things are going to change, much as they did in New York, elsewhere after 9/11, where now you have to go through, you know, security clearances to get into so many buildings, and that something similar like that is going to happen in Las Vegas. What do you think?
Well, unfortunately, something is going to have to change, and if it does come to that level of having to have metal detectors and whatnot, then so be it. And I believe that the city here, the residents here, will happily accept that. You know, not long ago, we also had a woman who was not well, and she ran into a crowd of people on the Strip. And so the next necessary precaution that was brought up was to put up more posts along the walkways. You know, unfortunately, we are living in some pretty violent times, and so we're going to have to really step up and see how we can prevent something like this from ever happening again. I know you can't legislate evil, you can't control evil, but you can at least try to eliminate what their intent is.
Yeah, no, I hear you. Niger, one of the things also with the president there today, and I'm visiting those who were wounded in the attack and family members, rescuers, those sort of folks, is that as horrific as this was, it could have been even more horrific by a factor many times had it not been for a lot of brave folk who got in harm's way and stopped this craziness. But that message doesn't get out, does it?
No, unfortunately, it doesn't get out enough. I think the partisanship is at a very, very high level right now. And the partisanship is not just among politicians, but it's unfortunately members of the mainstream media as well that are going to parse everything the president says and every little word, take it out of context and spin it in a way that is not helpful and healthy for our country. No, I'm as sad as everybody else, but I'm also inspired. I'm inspired by the first responders. I'm inspired by the policemen. I'm inspired by those I was caught up in traffic with trying to give blood on West Charleston at the blood center. I'm inspired by folk that I saw at the Salvation Army, former homeless people that are now working at the Salvation Army on Owens and collecting supplies to help the victims. This city, from our first responders, from our policemen, our law enforcement, feds that are here, I think right now is the safest city in the world, quite frankly. And I think the citizenry is engaged and is focused. And I agree with Amy, we can't let this kind of craziness ever happen again. And I don't think we are.
Amy, real quickly, there's been talk about reining in the number of outdoor venues in Las Vegas after this. What do you think of that?
You know, I had this discussion with my kids. I have 4 children, and my son started going through the laundry list of possible events that his teenage sister may not be able to attend. And I said, you know what, knock it off. All we can do is continue to pray, continue to be there for those who have been affected in this, that are traumatized. Right. And we're not going to let this stop us. We are Vegas strong, and we're going to move forward.
Amy, I won't mess with you. How's that? Amy, thank you very, very much. Niger goes without saying. Thank you both very, very much.